I remember the chamber had a slogan, Sioux Falls, a good thing going. And I think it's true. I think we had a really good thing going. Our economic health was tightly connected to John Morrell's at that time. In fact, the saying back in the day was, if Morrell's sneezes, the rest of Sioux Falls is going to catch a cold. We were so dependent on one single industry.
Everyone's business, everyone's lives really are so dependent upon the health of the community that you're in.
You know, it began in 1987 when a group of community and business leaders recognized that we were too dependent on a single industry, and that we really owed it to ourselves to find ways to expand and diversify our economy way beyond that.
In business, a lot of times it is, a zero-sum game where, I win, you lose. I think Sioux Falls approaches it, and the broader Sioux Falls business community approaches it very differently. They look at, what the collective good of the community is, and making investments like in Forward Sioux Falls ultimately allows improvements to be in infrastructure, to be in the community quality of life, to be in workforce development.
Sioux Falls is home. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. I left for 10 years to pursue my schooling, my training, and I always knew I wanted to come back. I saw how the city had changed over the years, and it was really exciting.
When it comes to economic development, we really need to put our chips on the table together around a common set of priorities and objectives.
I grew up here, and I did not know of all of the planning and the strategy that went into bringing these big companies to Sioux Falls, because it's not luck that Sioux Falls is thriving. It's intentional planning, it's strong leadership.
A stronger community, stronger business economy in Sioux Falls is going to certainly help our business and allow us to, attract a fantastic workforce.
The people that started Forward Sioux Falls had that forethought. There's just been a lot of benefits that have come to our community because of it.
The successful relocation of Citibank from New York to South Dakota really helped change our view of ourselves. And for them to see and be willing to invest and recognize the incredible quality of our workforce here in South Dakota, I think really boosted the spirits of everybody.
And when you see investments like Foundation Park, what that ultimately shows is that the community of business leaders, the city itself, is invested and interested in continued economic growth. That really de-risks that decision for us.
When we first learned that Amazon was coming to town, initially, had some shocks about, okay, what's this going to do? What's this going to do to our business? It's been a great boom for all of Sioux Falls. It's been a great boom for our business as well. The thing about Amazon is that they have a lot of vehicles, and we're very fortunate to be able to work on some of those.
The trickle-down impact from these larger companies coming to our area really helps drive the growth and the support of the small businesses. So as Forward Sioux Falls continues to do the work to bring these bigger businesses to Sioux Falls, I think that's hugely impactful to the small business community.
When you step back and look at it and you think about how does this impact the whole community, and if it's something that is, at the end of the day really is going to be a big benefit for the community, it really benefits everyone.
So when I moved to Sioux Falls in 1989, there would have been a lot of parallels between Sioux Falls and our sister city down south, Sioux City. The difference is that our community leaders saw the potential that we have here in Sioux Falls to be much more than that. If you look at the statistics today, Sioux City's job growth has gone from 72,000 to 75,000. Our job growth has grown from 72,000 to over 180,000 jobs. The reason we've been successful is we've been able to sustain the Forward Sioux Falls program every 5 years, after every 5 years, after every 5 years. And the reason we've been able to do that is because people have seen the results of our success.
I also see it through the lens of a business owner and a mom and somebody who wants Sioux Falls to be better for my kids than it was for me.
My wife and I are blessed with 4 children. 3 of those 4 children now have found career opportunities, as well as their spouses, right here in Sioux Falls. Those opportunities just wouldn't have been as available back in the 90s or the early 2000s.
Momentum is hard to get back when you stop it. Or certainly the same thing could be said for Forward Sioux Falls. If that momentum did not continue, that is going to be a really, really hard thing to get back.
If there's down years, I think that's the time not to let up on those type of investments, because it's certainly going to help pay off, down the road.
And I'm so proud at how people have taken the baton and carried it forward each step along the way.
My hope for the future is that generations to come and my kids, come back to Sioux Falls someday when they're grown and they see how it's evolved and changed. Even being a small part of that was impactful to them and their future.
Everybody has seen and reaped the benefits from past business leaders who have ultimately made those choices and made those investments, and we feel it's our turn.